Hello guys, welcome back to another Ghost Reacts, and today we are doing another Watch Mojo video. We are doing it on today, top 10 most painful costumes worn by actors. I'm doing this today. I did try to do another bar rescue, but copyright issues, I've not been able to be successful with that, so I've not been able to upload it. So hence why this one's coming out today, trying to get over the copyright. But without further ado, let's get straight into it today.
The Grinch!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most painful costumes worn by actors.
Somebody get this stupid costume off me!
For this list, we'll be looking at character outfits that were
We
so
all love
painful
Watch
that
Mojo.
it caused
They're so
health
cool.
issues or major acting difficulties for the stars of these films. Which of these costumes makes you wince in sympathy? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, RoboCop. RoboCop 3.
RoboCop, here we go. How bad was the costumes for this?
212.
This was ages ago, so it would have been physical.
I hope you are insured.
It's never easy stepping into the shoes of an iconic movie character. Even so, Robert Burke faced an extra challenge when he took over RoboCop's metal outfit from Peter Weller. The suit that gave the cyborg police officer his name was created for RoboCop 2 and was repurposed for the third installment. Weller's hand-me-down suit was tight and painful for Burke.
You are under arrest for assaulting an officer.
RoboCop is so old.
And destruction of police property.
On top of the pinching pieces, the complicated contraption of fiberglass and steel weighed more than 100 pounds. Imagine trying to take down corrupt
100
corporations while
pounds,
carrying
bro.
around the weight of an entire extra person on your shoulders.
You may want to call the fire department.
Number 9. Maleficent. Maleficent.
Maleficent.
Although the costume for the Mistress of Evil was a lot to deal with, Angelina Jolie couldn't complain too much. After all, the creators credit her as a driving force behind the design. In order to make this classic animated villain come to life, Jolie pushed for prosthetics to
Ooh.
alter her face. The cheek pieces, nose piece, pointy ears, and sharp teeth took hours
That
to
must have
apply
been
each day.
annoying
Then
to have.
Jolie would often wear them for 16 hours at a time.
I had wings once, they were stolen from me.
Look, the prosthetics on her face, they must have been like quite heavy because the amount that would have to be on there, and irritating, like itchy, especially when you're doing like full set times as well for filming. So, oh, I bet that, I can't imagine that because I've not done it yet. Yet, should I say? I said yet. I wonder why I said yet. Let's just continue.
What colour were they? Were they big?
So big they dragged behind me when I walked.
Ultimately, it was the
Ooh.
elaborate headpiece that was the biggest pain in the neck. The twisting
These films are
horns
good as
gave her
well.
another foot of height, and Jolie confessed that she kept running into things on the sets.
Mind you, the first few days you knock your head on everything and you feel very silly and very awkward. And then, but when it all comes together,
Number 8. Apocalypse. X-Men Apocalypse.
Who's makeup? Oh, okay,
Ra.
Apocalypse itself then.
I've been called many names over many lifetimes. I am born of death.
Since Apocalypse was the first and most powerful mutant in the X-Men universe, he needed to be more massive than anyone else in the film. In order
So
to achieve
true.
this godlike stature, Oscar Isaac wore high-heeled boots and a suit that weighed 40 pounds. The costume had
Bloody
13
hell.
moving pieces all layered on top of each other. In order to stay cool, he had to have cold water piped in through tubes. Between takes, he'd be
Piped in through tubes. Oh my god. He must have been sweated up a storm if they're doing that. He must have come close to like unconsciousness at some point if they've had to do this. Like in the experiment phases, like tests for the costumes.
isolated in a cooling tent, while his ears filled with sweat under the mask and helmets.
Thank you for letting me in.
After After a long day of filming, it took hours to scrape off all of the makeup and prosthetics.
I basically had a pit crew, and they would just come in and try to take it off in between takes, and they got so fast.
Number 7, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's not easy being green. At least it wasn't for the 4 actors playing these crime-fighting, pizza-loving reptiles of the 90s.
God, I love being a turtle!
The full-body costumes
I
created
remember
by Jim
these so
Henson's
well.
Creature Shop were a combination of foam rubber latex and state-of-the-art animatronics.
God love
When
Jim Henson.
combined, the costumes and technology weighed more than 70 pounds. Since the actors were sealed into the suits, they quickly became hot and claustrophobic.
There were times that you would beg just for 5 minutes. I'll be good. I'll go right back in. Just let me take the head off for 5 minutes, because it was so unbearable.
While filming in the North Carolina
Wow.
heat, cool air had to be funneled in through their mouth holes. Even so, the 4 main actors claimed they each lost 20 pounds over the course of the film.
You were too. You had the amount of sweat.
To get some food around here.
Number 6, Black Widow, The Avengers. Filming The Avengers in the desert of New Mexico was grueling for all of the Marvel heroes. However, Scarlett Johansson's
Wasn't she
skin-tight
wearing,
Black
like,
Widow
leather?
costume caused her to
Or
hallucinate
latex?
during a fight scene.
Just like Budapest all over
Bullshit.
again.
You and I remember Budapest very differently.
The actress compared her costume to a wetsuit that made her sweat so much she had to wring out her socks. While filming,
Wow.
she went through a series of these suits, as the material would shred during action sequences.
I mean, who wants to get into
I did not
something like
realize
that? You
that.
just think, oh God, really? Couldn't it have like, I don't know, some sort of a little like peplum skirt or something like that? I mean,
Thankfully, Johansson was able to spend more time in civilian clothes in later films. By the time she starred in Black Widow, her costumes were designed for movements and comforts.
Such a poser.
Number 5, C-3PO, the Star Wars
C-3PO.
franchise. You might think that the most uncomfortable costume in the Star Wars universe would be the thickly furred Chewbacca. Although Peter Mayhew had to put up with the terrible smell every time his hairy attire got wet, it wasn't nearly as bad as what Anthony Daniels had to put up with as
They're
C-3PO.
wearing metal pieces.
made to suffer. It's our
And
lot
it's
in
stiff
life.
as hell.
The golden robot was made up of multiple pieces that, once put together, meant he could hardly
Exactly.
bend any part of his body. It pinched and scratched, and at the end of the day, Daniels would walk away with a body full of bruises. His field of vision was
Shit.
narrow, and sound was amplified inside to almost deafening levels.
Something's not right because now I can't see.
You see all these years before CGI computer effects, we had to do practical effects like you see here, which is why the amount of injuries actors have, which is why we got some actors like doing these like suits as well. Some of them don't even get are actors getting in the suit. Some of them are just stunt doubles getting in them because they know how to take pain. Some actors don't know how to take pain. So you got to feel for these guys, man. Because before, obviously, CGI and all that, this practical effects was it. That's all we had. So you got to give them props for where it's due.
Oh, that's much better. Wait. Oh my! What have you done? I'm backward.
Ultimately, Daniels compared it to the medieval torture device, the Iron Maiden.
And it was shaped like a humanoid, and they would close it, and the trick was, on the closing doors, there were big spikes that would come jabbing into you. And I think that was the original design for this costume. They took that medieval style and repurposed it.
Number 4, Catwoman.
Yeah, I've
Batman
heard about
Returns.
these.
4, 5.
I swear she was caught fire at some point, like because of the latex material that she was wearing with fire. If that's in this, then I've got that right, but don't quote me on it unless it's actually true.
The image of Michelle Pfeiffer cracking a whip in her slick Catwoman suit is impossible to forget. Wearing it was definitely an unforgettable experience for the actress as well. She had to be covered in baby powder and then vacuum sealed into the skin-tight suit. The mask was so tight that it often choked her and pushed on her face.
The first time I put the outfit on, I thought, I can't
It's like
walk,
wearing a corset
I
really
can't
tight.
breathe, I can't hear, I can't act. Like this. And that's how I felt.
When Anne Hathaway took over the role in 2012, she also struggled with her body-hugging costume. In an effort to appear both thin and muscular, she claimed to pretty much live at the gym.
I've got your tongue.
Number 3, Gimli, the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Gimli.
Many of the
Oh.
actors in this epic fantasy
I love
adventure
Gimli.
spent hours in the
He's
makeup
one of the
chair
funny-
to transform into their Middle-earth.
He's one of the funniest characters in Lord of the Rings, in my opinion. If you don't agree with me, please let me know what character you prefer for Lord of the Rings that would overtake his stance for comedy stance, please. If you can't do it, then I must be right.
Parts. However, John Rhys Davies' experience wasn't just long, but also
The
extremely
amount of
painful.
banter he had.
tosses a dwarf. Not the beard!
The adhesive that was used to glue on the prosthetics peeled the skin away from his face, especially around his eyes.
You know when you grazed your knees when you were little boys and girls? And it was red and sort of lobster red and wet and limpy. That was my face.
Putting on Gimli's dwarf features became so painful for Rhys Davies that his stunt double was used whenever possible. Although he enjoyed his role, Rhys Davies knew that he wouldn't be returning for future films. He couldn't endure another round of the torturous makeup.
Guess that concludes negotiations.
That's it for some actors.
Number 2, Lord of Darkness, Legend.
Oh,
in
I've
order to
seen this
play
in
the
school.
devil-like Lord of Darkness, Tim Curry spent 5.5 hours in the makeup chair. It's not surprising considering his entire head and body were covered in extensive makeup and prosthetics.
The dreams of youth are the regrets of
I can't believe that was Tim Curry,
To
man.
achieve the satyr-inspired goat hooves, he had to walk on 18-inch stilts. In addition, the
18-inch
slitted yellow
stilts.
eyes were achieved through painful contact lenses that covered his entire eye.
They took a mold of your eye.
Oh, I can't
And
believe
then
he's
they
dead, bro.
stuck it in your eye, and if it hurt, they sort of scraped at it a bit until it stopped hurting.
To make things worse, the 3-foot fiberglass horns were so heavy they caused neck pain, despite the built-in harness. Removing it all required an hour-long bath to liquefy the adhesive. At one point, Curry panicked and started to take everything off too early, removing portions of his skin in the process.
Every wolf suffers fleas. 'Tis easy enough to scratch.
Number 1,
The Grinch.
The Grinch.
Right, this has to be
How
number
the Grinch
1.
Stole Christmas. Jim Carrey's
Has to
over-the-top
be.
portrayal of the Green Christmas meanie is legendary.
I've seen so many interviews of him on this.
You reject your own nose because it represents the glitter of commercialism. Why didn't I think of that?
Shockingly, he came close to quitting on the first day of filming. After his first 8-hour stint in the makeup chair, Carrey told director Ron Howard that he wouldn't be able to continue.
Oh. That's it, I'm not going.
Becoming the Grinch required a skin-tight costume, gloves with extended fingers, prosthetics,
that film.
makeup, and contact
First film I was
lenses.
introduced to as
Carrey
well,
compared the
properly.
full-body coverage to being buried alive. To help, the production team hired an expert who trained CIA operatives to endure torture.
It was horrifying. It was horrifying. It was just like, it's for the kids, it's for the kids, it's for the kids.
After 92 days in the makeup, Carrey said he'd basically become a Zen master.
I'm all dusty inside.
See, like, if I was an actor, this is the type of role I'd love to play. I love this type of, like, role. Just be crazy with it. Like, when I was in drama as well, like, people like Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, the man himself, and some other bits and bobs thrown in as well, but it was mainly them two. Just the way they act before, I love the way they act. It's the way that I would see myself acting if I was doing it properly, is the way they do it. If you like that, please smash the like button down below. There was some stuff, if you've seen worse makeup than the stuff that was in that video, please let me know down in the comments down below. If you're not a subscriber, please smash the subscribe button along with the notification bell to be notified when I'm doing an upload like this. And my new gaming series that's out now as well, Guardians of the Galaxy. Go over and check over on that if you're curious about how that's going. I've just started it. I will be filming more of it this week. But until next time, I will see you then. Goodbye.